One of the biggest issues that you face from being any sort of a content creator is storage issues. First, you start out with shooting a lot of video, then file sizes are really big, and then you shoot with 4K because with 4K resolution you can zoom in easily without losing a lot of quality and resolution. But file size adds up, and that's the reason why for my iPhone I bought a 1 terabyte space version. So for my iPhone, I haven't worried much about storage in general. But for my computer, it's a different case. So I shoot with the DJI Osmos Pocket 3, and I also shoot most of the time in 4K. Nowadays, sometimes I shoot in a lower resolution. And that's why I got this NAS, a network attached storage. This is the DS1522 Plus. Honestly, I took really long to finally decide on getting it because this is really expensive. This is the shell. This is like the shell, the computer. And then you need to buy a hard disk separately. Okay, so this is how it looks like. I got my packages mixed up, but this here is the hard disk. Two 12 terabyte hard disks. And I'm not sure exactly what to do, so I'm going to go on YouTube to look at tutorial on how to set everything up. Okay, so right now I have set up my NAS. It is currently running a check, so it take about 12 hours to a day. But right here I have this old WD My Cloud. It is also a NAS, and what I'm going to try and do is to take out the hard disk inside here and put it inside. First of all, I'm not sure if it fits. If it fits, great. Then we'll try to see if I can transfer the files over. These are files from way back that I haven't touched in a really long time. The problem is that this is a really terrible product. I could not transfer files through it very easily. I can't even open this easily. Alright, I'm using a screwdriver. I'm using a screwdriver to pry it out open, and we'll find out if I can actually salvage anything or get the files that I used to have from 10 years ago.
Much later.
Okay, so I was wrong. You cannot just slot in an existing drive and expect your files to be still accessible. You will need to reformat the drive before you use it again. So what I'm going to try and do is to try and transfer the files manually through whatever means.
Many hours later.
Okay, so it is now day 2 of setting up my NAS. I left it overnight to do its checking the hard disk thing. It's optional, but I think it's a good thing. Just do it once, and then it was recommended anyway by the YouTube tutorial that I saw. I recommend Space Rex. I watch a lot of his videos, and they are very helpful in helping me through step by step to set up my NAS. Okay, then next I spent a good part of my morning looking at my files and folders to see how to organize them. And then now I'm starting to transfer. Okay, so over here, this one is my old WD cloud. I'm connected it to my router to look at what the files are inside and whether there's anything that's necessary to copy out. And then after that, I'll put it here into my hard disk as like a spare drive.
2 days later.
Okay, so now I got this from my old hard disk, and I'm ready to move it to my Synology NAS. I've already looked through and cleared all the stuff that I don't want, or that I already copied out all the stuff that I need to my Synology drive. I'll probably use it for a separate disk drive pool, or whatever you call it, What it means that I'm not going to mix it up with my existing two hard disks because it's really old. So I probably use it as a backup for stuff that I'm a bit more willing to lose, and and then I don't need like a real redundancy for this. So what I want to touch on is that Synology NAS drive is good for people or anyone who takes a lot of content, takes a lot of videos, takes a lot of photos. Because these photos and videos takes up a lot of space, and you can very quickly fill up, let's say, a 4 terabyte disk. If you take maybe every week you go out shooting, and then within maybe 1 year, 2 year, you just fill up a whole hard disk full of space, and the you don't want to carry like hard disk and hard disk. And hard disk. I have a hard disk here connected to my computer, and imagine having like so many hard disks and you just can't keep track of everything. You need to label them. You need to make sure that you have a redundant backup of all your files. So you buy one 4 terabyte and then you buy another 4 terabyte and then you have them mirrored and then they fill up. What happens next? You buy what? Another 4 terabyte or another 8 terabyte or what? I don't know, man. It's a bit ridiculous and it adds up really quickly. So the next alternative you can do is to store your files on Google Drive. Google Drive is like your NAS. So your NAS is like your very own personal Google Drive because essentially what Google Drive does is on the cloud, is a storage on the cloud. Just that this is a storage. You can also connect to it through the cloud, through Synology. That's whether there's a choice whether you want to or not. But essentially, if you use something like Google Drive, Dropbox, you need to pay a monthly or annual fee, right? And for buying your own personal NAS, you will pay a very high upfront cost. I'm paying like 2,000 Singapore dollars upfront just for the shell and then for the two disk. I can eventually buy another three more disks for this particular one that I got, and ideally it will be the same the same size hard disk. So I got 12 terabytes. So right now 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, and then the whole idea is that you are not going to pay a lot more in the long term. So if you want to compare costs, go look up Google Drive, how much it is going to cost for you for like 2 terabytes. Maybe I'm going to look it up right now. So I recently got the Google Drive 200 GB, right? I'm paying $39. I'm paying $39 for 200 gigabytes a year. That's pretty reasonable, right? 200 gigabytes, $40 a year. But 200 gigabytes fills up very quickly if you shoot video. My phone is 1 terabyte. How much does it cost to back up my phone? Let's look at this. 2 terabyte annual cost to back up my phone, twice the size of my 1 terabyte phone. It will cost me $140 per year. My system, my NAS has 10 terabytes of space right now because I'm doing like a redundancy system. I have a 12 terabyte hard disk. I put them separately, so they're like kind of mirrored. If I want to continue upgrading the size of my storage, I just need to buy another 12 terabyte, and then it will increase in size. You can go to Synology's website and then check it out. What is the size that you ideally want, and then what's the upgrade they can do with there is like a useful planner thing that you can use. But coming back to Google Drive, if you buy your own online storage, sure, you can pay 100, $200 a year. Okay, no, this is 2 terabytes, $140 per year. 5 terabyte, no, okay, 10 terabyte there's not even a price to this. 5 terabyte is $350 per year. So let's say I double it. I think it's probably like double-ish the price if I get 10, right? 10 terabytes. So how much is it? 350 times 2, $700 Singapore dollars. 700 Singapore dollars per year. So my hard disk cost me 400 plus Singapore dollars. And then the shell cost about $1,000. So I paid total $1,900. If you look at 10 terabytes on Google Drive, it's maybe let's say 700 Singapore dollars. In 2 years, you're going to pay the same amount. And over the years, I would say maybe 3, 4 years, the price of paying for Google Drive is going to be much more expensive than getting your own NAS. But of course, you need to, the trade off is that you need to be able to manage it yourself. And I think for someone who shoots a lot of video, for someone who shoots, let's say you shoot a lot of photos, you manage your Lightroom catalogs, things like that. I think you can manage how to do a Synology, how to manage your own Synology drive and thing. You can watch YouTube tutorials. There's a lot you can learn, there's a lot you can do, but I think it's worth it. Yeah, so think about it. Storage solutions, if you shoot a lot of content, whether it's photos or videos, or you just have years and years and years of stuff that you need to like store it somewhere, because at the end of the day, having a whole lot of hard disks lying around is really messy, is very hard to keep track of. I have stuff way back from 2008. It's really old, and it's probably not a lot of stuff. Like when I was in school, I shot like my friends' gigs. I had a DSLR, and I just shoot a lot of photos here and there. How big is this folder from 2018? Let me check. 8 gig, 8 gig of photos, 2009, 32 gig. And then today we are shooting, I'm just randomly shooting for fun. And then it can be 32 gig of worth of videos because you're shooting 4K. You're shooting 4K like every normal thing for Instagram reel or for TikTok is shot in 4K. Why? I don't know, because you want the option to shoot bigger and then scale down later, right? Yeah, so that's why everything is so big and you need bigger drives like a NAS. So I'm not going to rant anymore. Thanks for watching this video.